Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Chase Corrington, and this is the Chase Corrington YouTube channel, where we seek to achieve and maintain happiness through enlightenment, philosophy, discussion, where we seek to discover the hidden truths in this reality or this world that we live in, where we try to find a better understanding and a better way so we can live happier, healthier, more successful lives. And ladies and gentlemen, today I wanted to come on and talk for a minute about it's doing or being, or acting or being, and the difference between acting and being. It's not what you did, it's what you be. It's not what you're doing, but rather what you're being. And you might say, well, that's the same exact thing. What's the difference between doing or being? I think a better way to put it is acting or being. We'll get back to that in a second. Consciousness is fundamental. It's important to, if you're trying to remember things, write something down. Also, writing something down forces you, or it empowers you, to be more clear in your thinking, ladies and gentlemen, because we all have fuzzy thoughts. And so when you take the time to write something down, it forces you or empowers you to think more clearly on each thing that you're going to get out rather than just flowing. And sometimes I wish I could just flow onto paper as fast as I think, but it doesn't work that way, and it's not simple. So writing something down is a good tool if you want to help yourself anywhere in life. Write things down. It forces you to be clear with your thinking. Consciousness is fundamental. Everything comes back to our consciousness. So everything in the external world comes back and goes through to our consciousness. Our entire experience, physical reality, is secondary. It is a product. So physical reality is secondary. It is a product of consciousness itself, ladies and gentlemen. So everything outside of us is secondary to in here, our consciousness. And if our consciousness is connected to the rest of consciousness, if consciousness is a universal thing, and there is universal consciousness, then if we control our consciousness, we can influence and help elevate the consciousness of the rest of the world, I would think. And let me continue here. Consciousness is not created by the brain, or created by brains. It is more fundamental in existence than the physical. That can change the way we all look at life. The physical is secondary to our conscious experience. And we can control our conscious experience by the choices we have to empower ourselves to make. You have to empower yourself. And when I say empower yourself to make these choices, I'm talking about doing the hard decision it takes to feel good about a not so good situation. Because it's easy to give in to our emotional instant reactions to the world, because we want to be upset, because it's easy, it's just natural to react in certain ways. But if we do the work to react in a positive way, or if we do the hard work that it takes to control our thoughts, even when it's not a reactionary situation, we need to control our thinking. Now, why are we here? To make choices? Maybe it's a choice between fear and love. And I hope you recognize that statement. It's a choice right now between fear and love. And happiness is what this channel's about. I'm going to get better over time at explaining happiness and why I'm so passionate about wanting other people to find happiness. Real, true, content happiness. Because there's so much menial nonsense frustration that's ruining people. When it's a simple but takes a little bit of gut and testicular fortitude or internal strength to make the decision to feel the way we want to feel rather than just being reactionary to the world. Consciousness. Our intent modifies future probability. Our intention, so what we intend, what we want to happen, what we think about happening, what we try to make happen, what we dream about, what we speak, most importantly, if you think and speak your intent, our intent modifies future probability. Are you saying we can do magic and change what happens in the world, Chase? Exactly. This is magic, folks. So when we control our intention, there's a certain set of future probabilities that can happen based on all the statistics that you want to give for a certain situation for any person's life. And our intention and our dedication, our devotion and energy that we give to our intention will affect the direction of future probabilities. So we can literally change the future with a little bit of controlled focus, controlled conscious attention. Paying attention to your thoughts and controlling them, and paying attention to your emotions and controlling them and using them for your better. And not just for your better, that's an ego thing. Using them for your better so you can better the rest of the world, so you can provide value to other people, so your betterment is betterment of all. Conscious attention. Now this gets to where I was going. You can change the future probability with your intent. You can use it to heal. You can use it to harm people, which is what most people are accidentally doing or harming themselves. But you can use it to heal. Now, it takes a lot of work. This isn't something simple. We're all looking for the quick fix to where we can, what's the easiest way that I can heal myself? That way I don't have to focus all my energy and thoughts and intentions and words on it all the time. You can use it to heal, or it'll make you ill. You can act something. Now this goes back to the beginning of the video, doing or being, acting or being. You can act something, or you can be something. Being is powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Being is different than acting, and it's important to distinguish them, separate from each other. You can act something, or you can be something. Being something is powerful intent. Acting something is weaker intent. So if we're trying to affect future probabilities with our consciousness, with our conscious attention, if we're trying to change our realities into better ones with our intent, we have to be our intent. We have to be it, not act it. Being is powerful intent, acting is weaker intent. You cannot have a powerful intent if your mind is not clear. This is why meditation or mindfulness or simple acts of clearing the mind are extremely important, because our intents get muddled. What if you're focusing on an intent real hard, but your mind is not clear and you're thinking about other areas of life? Your intent and your magic is going to go not as well as you intend it to be. It's going to be muddled. Back to the writing something down, we don't have clear thoughts until we're forced to put it or empowered to put it down in structure. You can change the future probability with your intent. You can act something, ladies and gentlemen, or you can be something. Being is powerful intent. You cannot have a powerful intent if your mind is not clear. Had to be repeated. Lower your entropy. If you don't know what entropy is, search it up, do a little research. And if you don't want to, don't worry, I'll make a video on entropy in the future. It's an interesting subject. It's a good one to get into. Lower your entropy. Lower it. There's a difference between doing kind acts and being genuinely kind. Emphasis on two words in that sentence. There's a difference between doing kind acts, and being. Doing and being, or acting and being. There's a difference between doing acts and being genuinely that way. So when we're out in the world, let's try to use conscious attention and focus on what we want and the way we want it to be with clear minds, without fuzzy thinking. Let's do everything we can to be aware of where our mind is going. The thing that blows my mind about this, it's so awesome, is when you're thinking, I like to imagine it like basketball. When you're dribbling, you're dribbling, the ball's bouncing up and down, and there's multiple layers of thought that's going on. And it amazes me that we have these multi-layers of thought. Like the one layer of thought is focusing on making the hand bounce the ball up and down. Another layer of thought simultaneously, all at the same time, is thinking where you're going to take your next step, when you're going to move left or move right, when you plan to shoot. And there's multiple layers of thought happening at the same time. And I like to think about this related to meditation, to where they is just a general term. I've heard it said, when you're meditating, you want to get in that upper layer of thought where you're just above, back here, observing the running thoughts that are going, and you push them away. Like, oh, how do I feel about this today? Interesting thought. But you throw it away. And you detach yourself from the physical. And it's just so amazing to me that we have the ability as human beings to think about thoughts, to observe our own thoughts and watch them just pass by as if they're not our own thoughts. And so we need to use this thing that Alan Watts talked about, conscious attention. I love that term, conscious attention. We need to use our conscious attention to step back into that upper mind that's observing, that's unattached, that will look deeper, that will allow us to decide where we want to put our intent, where we want to put our thoughts, where we want to put our energies, where we want to put our feelings, where we want our emotions to be. We can watch emotions flood into us in this upper mind and disassociate from the emotions for a moment, and it really will help us control our consciousness through conscious attention, through controlling your thoughts. But ladies and gentlemen, acting or being, there's a difference between doing kind acts and being genuinely kind. And that's just an example for the kindness part in that statement, doing kind acts or being genuinely kind. The kind is just an example for anything else that you want to throw into that. Doing blank acts is different and weaker intention than being genuinely fill in the blank, ladies and gentlemen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am Chase Corrington, and this is the Chase Corrington YouTube channel, where we seek to achieve and maintain happiness through enlightenment, through searching for the deeper meanings in this world we live in, searching to discover the hidden truths that there are, seek to achieve and maintain happiness, because happiness can change the world.